Hey everyone, welcome to the show. On today's big show, Bitcoin drops like a bad habit. I will show you why it could be heading to $20,000. Buckle your seatbelts. We'll look at the support and resistance levels. We'll see what's actually happening in this space. I think the data is pretty clear what's happening with it, so we'll get into that. Meme stocks explode. Where is AMC heading today? Is it all part of a sideshow, or is this something that you actually want to invest in? Where's the store of value in companies like this, I ask you? And Biden's infrastructure plan and stimulus updates, are we finally seeing some movement on that front? We're going to hear from the White House. We're going to hear from Mitch McConnell. Are we going to finally see some movements where we can actually get some stimulus, actually see this plan, which was supposed to be done by Memorial Day? Didn't get any of that. And a drug to stop Alzheimer's? Yes. And a drug to stop cancer? Yes. And both of those stocks have taken off. And finally, we'll get to this morning. Ford just unveiled an electric truck under $20,000. We've got a very busy show for you today. We were working hard all morning, and Morning Invest starts right now. Good morning, everybody. Welcome into the old broadcast on this Tuesday. I hope everyone's doing well. I've got my iced coffee here. Philip's in the control booth. What are you dialing up? You ran to grab some coffee this morning as well. What are you drinking? Are you decaf like David or no?
No, I don't waste my time. No, I just do I like it dark, black, like as so I'd usually do like roasted, like the darker roasts.
Yeah, that's what I have here. Nice little dark roast
this morning.
Hey, did you catch any of the Apple news yesterday? We had the big Apple event yesterday. Did you watch any of it? Did you order any? Well, you couldn't order anything because there's no hardware.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I don't typically get into the Apple stuff, so I'm not in there.
Really?
Yeah, I have the iPhone, but as a video editor, I didn't like Final Cut, so I just don't do it. I'm a PC person, I guess.
Why is that taking that shot? This is all wacky today. What is happening here? Huh. That is weird. Anyway, WWDC yesterday, and I thought we would see some hardware stuff. I was waiting. David and I were both waiting for some hardware, but we did see iOS 15 rolling out. We saw iPad OS 15. This was probably the biggest news. Huge changes to iPad OS. So if you're an iPad user, lots of really cool features there. Really cool note-taking features, just with a tap of a pencil, being able to scroll quick notes. New Mac OS Monterey for the Mac. Software, WatchOS 8, some cool features there. But yeah, no hardware. And so Apple stock actually kind of held up pretty well. I thought, that's what always happens after an Apple event. There's always like everyone's like, oh, Apple they've lost their sachet. Was it sachet or cachet? They've lost their whatever. They've lost their sachet. They've lost their cachet. But kind of held up this morning. Why does this keep doing this? It's the wrong relay button here. This is really frustrating.
That truck just wants to be seen.
I know. We'll get to that in a little bit, but why is that doing that? It's not going to the right input. Something got futzed around with on my Stream Deck. Anyway, Apple stock at this hour up a little bit. So it did pretty well in pre-market hours as well on this iOS news. So no hardware. I mean, all those rumors about new hardware were wrong yesterday. There was no new MacBooks. There was no Mac Minis. Just goes to show you, like, Apple has gotten really good lately about clamping down on their privacy stuff, because there was a bunch of leaks over the past couple of years, and looks like now with COVID and whatever else, some of these leaks have not been able to get out to reporters. So anyway, it was a big surprise yesterday. No new hardware. But welcome into Morning Invest. I'm Clayton Morris. This is the only morning business show for real people, not the Wall Street elite. So we help you make money. We help you be safer with your money. And we're here every morning live at 9 a.m. Eastern time. We also have a daily newsletter that we publish every day, Monday through Friday. You can get it if you want to be more informed and learn something new first thing in the morning. You should join our daily newsletter, which is sent to you by email in your inbox between 6 and 7 a.m. The best part is it's free. Simply go to morninginvest.com, put in your email address, and you'll be added to our list. Helps us keep doing what we're doing here on the show. And plus, it's an awesome newsletter that you get first thing in the morning. All right, without further ado, let's get to this Bitcoin news. It's been a crazy 24 hours since our last show. Now, yesterday on the show, I warned you. I said we could be seeing a big Bitcoin pullback. And it was funny because yesterday before the show, I posted the show, put up the thumbnail, etc., and someone in the comments who was not a normal viewer of the show just said, "This is total FUD. Bitcoin's price isn't going anywhere." Okay. So I'm not making it up. I'm just looking at the on-chain metrics, just looking at the data, what's actually happening here. So Bitcoin did plummet yesterday. And there's a good case to be made this morning that Bitcoin could be heading down to that 20,000 range. Now, I don't want to go there just yet, but I will say that there are some signals that this is going to happen. So be prepared for it. So where we are right now is a $32,000 Bitcoin, okay? And we could see, I guess we blew past that 34,000 range. So we've already hit that 34,000 support. Let's just pull back a little bit more on Bitcoin. Where do we think that this could go over the next, let's take a look at a weekly view here of Bitcoin. Could we see going down into the $20,000 range where there's some recent support, $18,000 range, $28,000 range? Again, the reason that this is happening is because, well, retail traders have gotten out of the game. Retail traders are selling their Bitcoin, and institutional investors are waiting for people to bleed, and they're waiting to jump in on this. I mean, the data is pretty clear on this. If you just look at the on-chain metrics, it's not that difficult to see what's happening. And hopefully, if you guys did make a little bit of profit yesterday, it did move a little bit. You were able to set those stop losses and get out. Hopefully, you're sitting in cash. Certainly, that's what I am doing right now, just sitting in cash on Bitcoin. But Mike Novogratz, who is considered sort of the Warren Buffett of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin investing, he was down there at the Bitcoin conference, and he spoke about the importance of institutional money in this space, and that's why we see these big movements. Let's listen to Mike Novogratz.
How much investors? I mean, talk to me about how that changes the landscape, because some people might say that we got to 60,000 in Bitcoin or above it because of institutional money coming in. How important is it?
Institutional money is wildly important. So let me give you some numbers. Total crypto market cap, that's Bitcoin and everything else, is about $1.5 trillion. That's 30 basis points of total global wealth. 30 basis points, nothing. Listen, for that to shift to 2%, 3%, which I'm fundamentally in belief that it will, you need institutions. They own all the money. And so Bitcoin is still a 95+% retail dominated ecosystem. Maybe a little less, maybe 90%. But as institutions are slowly moving in, they take time. They don't wake up one night and say, buy me 3 yards of Bitcoin. I mean, unless they're Elon. Right? They put a little in. They do the same thing everyone else has done in this thing. They put something on the board, so they start understanding it more. Then they get more confidence. And what you'll see is higher prices, but get more people entering the market.
Yeah, it sounds like we're kind of stuck now in this $35,000 range when it comes to that, and some people might point to the ESG concerns that institutional investors have as maybe a problem to get back to where we were before. I mean, do you see that playing out, or how big of an issue is it?
What happens in markets is you get a new group of investors that come in, they get excited, and then they push the market higher. So if you think about when Paul Tudor Jones bought Bitcoin, and he famously published that paper, I think Bitcoin is about $8,000 or $9,000. A lot of hedge funds got into that zone. Well, a year later, it's at $60,000. The urge to ring the cash register is such a deep-seated human urge that's what happens. People made a lot of money in something, they sell some. They sell some to buy a house, to buy their girlfriend a ring, to diversify their portfolio so they're not 90% Bitcoin, right? And so we see these kind of step function moves, and then we'll see a long period of consolidation. And what happens there? You're turning over, old guys selling, new guys buying, and you're waiting for the new narrative to arrive. That brings the next wave of money in. And I think we're in one of those.
So that's what's going to happen, right? That's where we are. And he's absolutely right. It's that these big whales sort of sat back and they missed the boat in the beginning. A lot of these big whales, these billionaires just didn't, they're like, come on, Bitcoin, really? No. And then you did have people like Elon getting in. So what you're seeing right now, I believe, in this pullback is a lot of the retail investors getting shaken out. And I even saw like BitBoy Crypto the other day saying, hey, our views are down on our channel. YouTube is suppressing our channel. I like what he does a lot. I think he does an excellent job. But I think he's wrong in this regard. It's not YouTube suppressing it. It's people getting scared. It's people tuning out. It's people thinking like, I'm not cut out for this. I don't want to invest in crypto. I'm nervous about this. And so they're just sitting on their hands right now. And that's what's happening. It's not YouTube. I mean, look, Google has a lot of money to be made in crypto, right? We know where Google's wallet is right now with Google Wallet, other places. So Google is not going to suppress crypto videos. Like, that's not what's happening. What's happening is, and all you need to do is look at trends.google.com. You actually look at the search volume for crypto. And from among retail traders, those people like, the person who hears about it on television and jumps into it, they're getting scared because they're seeing these big volatile swings in crypto, and the whales are waiting. And the whales have been waiting for these price drops so that they can get back in. Look no further than Robert Kiyosaki, a friend of mine who said it right. He was in this space and he was ready to jump into crypto once it hit 20 and he missed the boat. So he had to wait till it retested down to 8 or 7,000 before he jumped into it. That's exactly what happened. He did the same thing recently when it was going to move down to 27,000. He's a whale. He's a multimillionaire, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He's a whale. This is exactly what's going on right now. This is shaking out all of the retail traders who are scared, and the big boys, the whales, are sitting there right now waiting to jump in, waiting for the blood in the water.
On it. And
that's how do you count?
$1 trillion.
Yeah, it's impossible to count. Because what happened, I'll give a quick history. This is the 50th anniversary of the fake dollar. So in 1971, Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard. And that's when I became a gold bug. I said, well, at least gold is more real than the dollar. The same as I've been in silver since 64. So when I saw Bitcoin come along, I didn't understand it. And by the time it hit 20,000, I was getting excited. But being an old guy, I always know it retraces. So I just waited for to retrace. It retraced to 7. I think it was it go down to 3 or something. But by the time I woke up again, it was at 7, and then I said hit 9. I said I better back up the truck now, because why would you chase something on the way up? You want it to come back, retrace, and then go back into it. But the reason I want to,
and that's exactly what he did. So I remember a few years ago, I was out in Robert's office in Phoenix, and he said, yeah, I just bought Bitcoin. And everyone in the room was like, wow, you just bought Bitcoin? Wow, this is kind of a newfangled thing, right? He was ahead of the curve for a lot of people. So he was buying it at those levels. And I remember thinking, man, I should put some money into Bitcoin. And I did a little bit too late, but a little bit later than that. But anyway, he was ahead of the curve on that. And a lot of whales now are going through that same sort of rediscovery period. They know the value of it. They're seeing businesses' bottom lines exploding, Tesla stock, et cetera, as a result of having it on their balance sheets. So what you're seeing right now is 100% the new guys, the small retail investors, getting spooked, freaking out, and the whales are taking profits, okay? They're taking profits at that 35,000 level, or they bought in at 20, and they're waiting for a retest down to 17, or they bought in at 38, or they bought in at 30, and they're selling at 35, taking profits right now, because they know once these movements start, there's going to be, it's going to come. I mean, look at your chart right now. Again, a strong case to be made for Bitcoin here at $32,000 this morning to be heading down to that $20,000 range. Look where we have support. Here's 28,000. Okay. So where's our next stop on this train? 28,000. Where's the next stop? 20,000 for Bitcoin. Unless bulls can come in here and push up some sort of a green candle, I just don't see it happening. But unless bulls can somehow come in here and pull up, I just don't see it happening. So this is an opportunity to be sitting on cash and waiting, just like these whales are, to be making profits in this market. Probably got stopped out on a lot of different altcoins over the past few days. If you did, you took a 1 or 2% loss. After maybe you made some profits, hopefully you made some profits, so you actually locked in 3, 4, 5, 10% profits on some of these coins that we showed you over the past few weeks. And then you're sitting in cash and you're able to pounce on these things as they retest even further. So Anthony Pompliano, Pomp, friend of the show, he talked about how if you just look at the on-chain metrics right now, if you just look at what these big guys are doing, they're waiting. They're waiting for blood in the water. Listen to Pomp talk about this.
Most recent low. And I think to your point, people see this high degree of volatility and it scares the hell out of them. But one of the beauties of Bitcoin being this decentralized digital open system is that you can actually go look on the blockchain and you can see exactly who's buying and who's selling, right? It's an open, transparent ledger. And so when you go and you look at those on-chain metrics or on the blockchain, what you find is that entire drop from 60 down to 30, it was all new investors, new people in the market, right? And you can tell that by how long have they been holding on to the Bitcoin that they were selling. And so when you see that all the new people are selling, it asks yourself, well, who's buying it? It's all the people who've been around for a really long time, right? They're saying, hey, if you just got here and all of a sudden a little bit of volatility spooks you, I'll surely buy up your Bitcoin at a lower price.
And so he, even Robert then admits, hey, look, I'm waiting for it to go down to, I was pissed when we had the most recent dip that it didn't break 30. Went down to 28, and he's like, I literally had it ready to buy. I was going to buy millions of dollars of Bitcoin at $27 a Bitcoin, and it didn't. It went back up a little bit. So now, what do you think is going to happen? All of these big whales are just sitting there waiting. And what they want is they want to buy Bitcoin at these levels. They want to buy Bitcoin at 20,000. They want to buy it at 25,000. They want to buy it at 18,000. And they want you to be out of the market, the retail investor. And then what they want is they want you to buy it back at 50. And then they'll take profits again. So you need to be smart in these situations. If you're sitting in cash, and then what are the opportunities? We'll get to those in some charts a little bit later. I'll show you some of the different opportunities to be making money that I'm going to be waiting on as some of these coins pull back even further that I can jump into. Coins that I'm waiting for big news to happen a little bit later in this year to explode towards the end of the year. So this is an opportunity to go shopping. So hopefully you made some profits, you pulled out some profits, you're sitting in some cash, and you can jump into some of these things. So we'll get to some of these opportunities and some other stock opportunities as well that I'm actually investing in right now. We got some other news to get to today. We'll get to the rest of the headlines in a moment, but I want to tell you about our friends over at Everlane. So I really am excited about this company. It's not often you get a clothing company that really goes the extra mile to make sure that their clothes and everything about their process is sustainable. And that the workers that are even making all of their beautiful clothing have good jobs, they're skilled workers, they're taken care of, they're ethically made, so that making sure that the people that work in their factories are making a fair wage, they work reasonable hours, they're skilled and they're focused to the craft, who are building their clothing. They do extensive research in vetting the factories, and the clothing is sustainable and it lasts a very long time. It's not this crap that you get where it's made and it falls apart after a year. My wife can't stand that. We buy kids' clothing and it deteriorates. Not Everlane. Everlane does extensive research and vetting to make sure that they're using the finest sustainable materials so you can wear them for years to come. Everything from denim to loungewear to swimwear, and even their swimwear, they actually use recycled materials. They use recycled plastic, sustainable swimwear collection made from 13,000 pounds of recycled plastic. They have workout gear to take out, to swimwear, to track wear, for lounging at home or hitting up your favorite late night spot. And I love being able to put on like a nice Everlane shirt, and it's just so comfortable. It's just so comfortable and just kicking back. Super nice. It really fits perfectly. I love the color of it, the feeling of it. Washing it multiple times, you know that it's going to last and last and last. You see the fabric like really lasting, which is super nice. I love their t-shirts. They're really, really nice. So here's what's great. You're going to get 10% off your first order right now. If you want that swimsuit for the season, great. Go to everlane.com/invest. When you sign up, you get 10% off your first order plus free shipping. Again, that's everlane.com/invest, and get easy returns within 30 days of your shipping date if something doesn't fit you or, you're just not liking it. 10% off your first order when you go to everlane.com/invest and you sign up today. Our thanks to Everlane for the support of Morning Invest. All right, we've got some more news. You got that?
Out of my way to support companies like that. Like when you look and they've done the background check, not the background check, but they've done their research on things. Like you can tell they put a lot of effort into it, and so I go out of my way for that.
Me too. My wife and I as well. And that's what this show is all about, right? These are the companies I invest in. These are the companies that I think like that do the sustainable work for the environment, that are taking care of its people, its employees. Like those are the companies I'm investing in. And those are the companies that I buy. Frankly, that's what I wear. That's what I buy. And so I appreciate them supporting the show today. So thank you so much to Everlane. We've got more news to get to, including this, which I don't know if you caught this news this morning. It's a big story. And the Department of Justice has now seized $2.3 million in Bitcoin that was paid to the Colonial Pipeline hackers. It was interesting, of course, because they shut down as a result of because of this ransomware attack on the Colonial Pipeline, shut down the entire East Coast, basically oil and gas operations. So you'll remember a few weeks ago, everyone was lining up to get gasoline thanks to these guys. And then Colonial Pipeline paid them about $5 million or so in cryptocurrency. Well, the Deputy Attorney General, General Lisa Monaco, came out yesterday and had an announcement about all of this. And it was pretty interesting to watch.
The sophisticated use of technology to hold businesses and even whole cities hostage for profit is decidedly a 21st century challenge. But the old adage, follow the money, still applies. And that's exactly what we do. After Colonial Pipeline's quick notification to law enforcement and pursuant to a seizure warrant issued by the United States District Court for the Northern District of California earlier today, the Department of Justice has found and recaptured the majority of the ransom Colonial paid to the dark side network in the wake of last month's ransomware attack. Ransomware attacks are always unacceptable, but when they target critical infrastructure, we will spare no effort in our response. DarkSide is a ransomware as a service network. That means developers who sell or lease ransomware to use in attacks in return for a fee or a share in the proceeds. DarkSide and its affiliates have been digitally stalking U.S. companies for the better part of last year.
So the FBI had been tracking them for many, many months, long before this happened, and they were able to recover about $2.3 million in cryptocurrency by tracking a digital wallet that they and their affiliates were using. So that's pretty impressive, I will say. Like, good for them. I mean, to me, like, you think this is gone, right? This is gone. And heck, we even hear like just, people that run like Ponzi schemes and stuff like that, like the Bernie Madoff kind of stuff where it's get cash, and how difficult that is to get back. But imagine being able to get this back from these crypto hackers that have managed to shut down meatpacking plants, Colonial Pipeline, and other big companies around the world. So they've been able to track this digital wallet, and they took control of it through a warrant, and have been able to get some of this money back. Good for them. Good for them. We'll see if that stops them or not. Probably not. But if there's any arrests, so we'll see if there's going to be any arrests on this. It's probably going to be like a 15-year-old kid, which is usually how it goes. There wasn't much movement on the U.S. stock index's future overnight following that mixed session we saw on Monday, which saw heavy volumes once again. So meme stocks. So the shares of AMC, how many of you guys are investors in AMC? Explain this one to me. I don't know. Like I get of course, the Reddit forums and everyone who wants to jump on these. I'm a value investor, so the things that I like to invest in are things where I know there's a store of value or they are producing something of value. I just don't understand when you have this much debt on a balance sheet, what exactly the value is. Do you see millions of people going back to movie theaters? Do you see some other way in which AMC can generate massive profits? I just don't get it, other than this is just fun for, sort of gambling investors right now to have some fun with, and I totally get that. The same way that you might invest in Shiba Coin or Dogecoin or something like that, where you're really questioning, what is the value proposition on these companies right now? BlackBerry also, but look at AMC this morning, up already in pre-market trading, and the market is about to open here in about 15 minutes. But already up this morning, up 3% in pre-market trading, and where is this going to go? There are a number of institutional investors who believe that this is all a sideshow. This is a sideshow. But it's funny because if you invest in the Russell 2000, then you might not, as part of your 401k or whatever, might not even know that you're invested in some of these meme stocks that have now entered the Russell 2000. And so you're wondering, wow, my portfolio is going up really well. That's fantastic. But then what happens when they're yanked out of the Russell 2000 and you're suddenly your 401k plan or your whatever you're holding suddenly starts to plummet because you had BlackBerry, you had AMC, you had GameStop all in there, and they pop by double digits, and then suddenly they're back down again. And the SEC is also watching right now. We learned that the Securities and Exchange Commission is looking for market volatility due to disruptions and manipulative trading and other misconduct. And they're vowing right now to protect retail investors who are getting involved in AMC or GameStop. And you got to know, I mean, look, if it's just, and I'm sure, you hang out on the Reddit forums all the time, Philip, but like, there's a lot of institutions buying these stocks too. This is not just retail traders. And this is when retail traders get burned, is when these whales come in and start to do, market manipulation.
Yeah. And there's definitely a lot of, back and forth on Reddit about this, because there is a large portion of people, not like on Reddit, but there's a large group of people that are retail investors that will just hold this stock no matter what, because they're in it to see a short squeeze. Whereas you've also got like the whales waiting, and then on the other side you've got like I can't think of the name right off the hand, but there's a particular hedge fund that they're Citadel, I think, is who they're.
Oh yeah, right.
They're trying to short squeeze.
Exactly, they're trying to stick it to the Citadel man, right?
Yep.
I used to cover technology for many years, right? When I first met my soon-to-be wife, like she and I both had BlackBerries, but she was a BlackBerry user. I got one for work, but I never used the thing. I hated it. Really, the first phone that I loved was the iPhone. With all those keys, never made sense to me. And then, BlackBerry was crushed and sort of killed. And then once BlackBerry Messenger was the only thing remaining where people actually could use it for any kind of value, like BlackBerry Messenger, that's the only reason we're using it. And you knew people in Washington, D.C. were using BlackBerries for its security purposes. And then once that was done, then what is the value of BlackBerry? Like, I just don't get it. I don't know anyone that has a BlackBerry. I don't know what BlackBerry's frankly even doing anymore. And it's like what Bill O'Reilly once said in the famous meme, perhaps that's my ignorance and I apologize for it. But I don't know. I don't know. But, there are a number of investors and there are, hedge fund managers that believe this is all a sideshow, and you need to be careful.
Section where he said it's its own animal and you said it's a frenzy, right? So understand that that's what's going on right now. It's a separate sideshow. It is its own animal. It is a frenzy. It's a mania. But if you are along the Russell 2000, the IWM, part of the movement you've seen in the Russell 2000 has been because of companies like AMC and GameStop, and that will continue to be the case until they reconstitute that index. And actually, these names are going to get kicked out because they're too large. It's just a function of if they're going to be put into the Russell 1000, right? So that's what happens once a year. It just so happens that that's happening this month. But in the near term, understand that if there's a handful of meme stocks that are rotating in and out of favor, it could have a potential move on the Russell 2000, but understand very small. The percentage that an AMC or GameStop back in the day when GameStop was the only game in town in meme land, I think that had a bit of a move on the Russell 2. But I think the Russell 2 really has been driven because it's domestically focused on the U.S. economy. Small cap tend to be cyclical. There's a lot of energy and financials in there. So I think there's a lot more fundamental drivers for the Russell 2000 right now versus that pull that has been the meme stock frenzy. So,
find out what's in your portfolio, find out what's in your 401k. If you have these funds, you're not really sure what you're invested in. I mean, now's the time to take advantage and really do some research, because it's going to be interesting to see what happens to these meme stocks, whether it's Bed Bath & Beyond, whether it's Nokia, whether it's BlackBerry. Just be careful. Some other, vaccine news. So there was a bunch of movement yesterday, and in the Big-Pharma space, some vaccine stock news. We saw some Alzheimer's news yesterday and some cancer regression news yesterday. So a big move yesterday in Big-Pharma. Let's start with on the booster side. So a big play, watch this company, track this company. This could be a really good investment. I'm going to be watching this very closely. This is, why is my damn Stream Deck not working? This is Novavax. So, as Seeking Alpha points out, Novavax has the winning proposition on a comparison with BioNTech, and Moderna could potentially generate a long-term COVID vaccine income stream on a gross profit basis exceeding $10 billion per annual. Basically creating this booster. Here is their stock symbol, NVAX. Very bullish on that, up 4.86% pre-market. And they so the NASDAQ yesterday getting a nice boost. First is a study published in Nature magazine, which talks about the repeated doses of virus-based vaccines, such as the AstraZeneca one, tend to be increasingly less effective because the immune system mounts a response against the adenovirus. So what we do know is they're saying like this idea of having a booster could prove very beneficial for these particular companies. And these recent safe issue now with a possible link to these mRNA vaccines, which are the possible problems in these genomic vaccines. And so this could be the company that ends up winning the battle for the boosters. And Novavax, keep your eyes on Novavax, COVID vaccine, versus those other ones, BioNTech and Moderna. Novavax could be the big winner in this when they're projecting $10 billion as a result. So here's an opportunity to maybe get in on one of these companies ahead of time that is going to be really running the table on booster vaccines. Another big issue that we saw yesterday, another big story, is on Alzheimer's. So Biogen stock soaring yesterday after their Alzheimer's drug has been approved. This is really interesting. We wrote about it in the newsletter this morning. Obviously, the amylase, the sort of cake-like black stickiness that can form in the brain as a result of processed foods, toxins in the environment, also brain injuries. This could be the drug that helps clear that out. It could help. People with brain swelling may experience headaches, confusion, dizziness, and vision changes. And some end up having this sort of plaque that forms as a result of a head injury. Biogen plans to sell the therapy under the brand name Aduhelm. It will cost $56,000 a year. So think about how much that's going to make. $56,000 a year for an Alzheimer's related treatment. There was one couple sort of was doing some of in the preclinical stuff they were trying, and the husband was about 2 years into having Alzheimer's, and they started to go through the process, and it was a little too late. They think if they can catch it early, that this might be a situation where they can do these infusion sites where you'd have to go once a month to get this Alzheimer's infusion, once per month to clear out this plaque, and it could be an absolutely life-altering drug. And so as a result of it, BIBB is up $109, up to 38% overnight. 38% on this news about Alzheimer's. We also had some other news on the drug front, and that is PDS Biotech. Some PDSB is the stock ticker, and this company has shown significant advancements in cancer tumor reduction. And this is pretty big. 25 patients were available for the presentation where they were doing the HPV-16 patients. And as a result, the tumors had retraced significantly. 83% of the patients demonstrated an objective response rate or tumor reduction, and 100% are still alive after 8 months of treatment. So again, stock is PDSB. Could be a really, and of course, Seeking Alpha thinks is an incredibly undervalued company. Stock is down 26% during regular sessions. Rise in pre-market is up 10% on this news. And they think it's an incredibly undervalued stock as this potential in cancer treatment is exploding across a couple of these different, of course, by PDS Biotech. So a couple of big ones: Alzheimer's, cancer, and booster for coronavirus vaccine. A couple of big stocks this morning. We're going to get to some more news in a moment, but I want to tell you about our friends at HelloFresh first of all. So HelloFresh delivers fresh quality meals right to your door. You're going to get 12 free meals for free. Why wouldn't you take advantage of this for free? Just for trying it today. HelloFresh.com/invest12. If you use the code invest12, you get 12 free meals, including free shipping. That's right. So they basically deliver, they cut out the stressful meal planning and grocery store trips. So you can enjoy fresh, delicious home cooking on the table in about 30 minutes or less. So great with these recipe cards, easy to follow recipes with clear nutritional info, pre-portioned ingredients straight from the farm, convenient meal kits that perfectly fit into your fridge. Like you get the salmon, the delicious miso glazed salmon, or the craft burgers. You can make these things in anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. Really, really delicious. And you can make it with the whole family. They have great vegetarian options as well. So if you've got a vegetarian family, you can do that. You have a larger family, no problem. It's only 2 of you living in the house. Great. They have meal plans that you can switch, mix, and match, change them up every week. If you're going to be on vacation, you can skip a week, whatever you need to do. You can do all of that. And it's 28% cheaper than shopping at the grocery store and 72% cheaper than a restaurant meal. I love, and it's fun to cook with the kids too. You give them the recipe cards and they have the ingredients, they figure it out. It's a lot of fun to bring the family together to cook in your home. Super great. All right, so go to HelloFresh.com/invest12. Use the code invest12 to get 12 free meals, including that free shipping. So Ford, you guys know I've been bullish on Ford. I think that this stock, I don't understand how a company that's been around so long that their stock symbol is literally one letter. It's F. That's how, it's like trying to get a .com. Like if you could get like food.com, you're probably one of the first, right? They have the letter F on the stock exchange. F is their symbol. They've been around so long. I don't understand how their stock was like at $11. I bought them when they were about $10. Now Ford this morning is up to, I think, $15 a share. And this morning, they are rolling out their brand new electric vehicle. This is the Ford Maverick, just announced, and it's going to be $20,000. A $20,000 pickup truck that's all electric. They are really pushing into this electric vehicle space. This was just announced this morning, the Ford Maverick. This does not, got a hybrid powertrain. That does not look like I don't know much about trucks. I've never owned a truck. Have you ever owned a truck, Philip?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
but I grew up a Dodge family, so I can't help it.
Oh, okay. So does this look like a $20,000 truck to you? I don't know. I don't know to me, they're pretty. It looks like a beast. But it's going to offer the Maverick pickup trucks. They're standard as a hybrid compact, will have a gasoline electric hybrid powertrain as standard equipment. And they're basically saying that this is going to be a starting vehicle price below $20,000. And there's about a 40% makeup in demand where that hole is, like where you hit on what the higher price, this is going to make up a 40% hole in the market. And they have a gasoline powered option they'll sell as an option as well if they want.
Yeah, I've been looking at this because one, the price point is awesome, but two, because right now I have a Scion and I somehow I went out to get a pickup truck and walked out with a Scion, so I'm one of those people. But I want to go back to having a pickup because I love the utility of it, and so this is one I'm definitely keeping my eye on.
Yeah, and here's Ford stock at this hour. So again, a company I'm bullish on pre-market. I love when I just don't understand it. They announce they announce this and stock just drops a little bit, like a little bit of a nice retracement. So just keep an eye on this. Ford announcing their new Maverick compact pickup, starting as a hybrid, as they move into this all-electric vehicle space. I think it's really exciting what they're doing. I think they are perfectly positioned to, in many ways, help begin to start to dominate the American truck market. For electric vehicles in the United States. Obviously the Ford F-150, a behemoth of a vehicle for them. Was it the best-selling truck in America? I don't know if the Cybertruck from Tesla is going to really give them a run for their money or not. I don't know. We'll see. It's untested. We don't know how well the Cybertruck will do from Tesla. but Ford is certainly tested and tried and true, and they've got the infrastructure and manufacturing to be able to pull this off. So Ford F is their stock symbol. Track them, check it out. Again, I bought in around $10 on Ford, and this is one of those companies, again, value companies. Like these are the ones that I invest in the stock market, that I find value in, that I'm holding for a long time. And Ford is definitely one of those. Apple is another one. You know, Apple's not going anywhere. It's sitting on $100 billion in cash. It's continuing to crush it across all sectors. So Ford, Apple, these are companies that I've been very bullish on for a while. We're going to get to some charts here in a moment, and I'm going to show you some just what's going on in the crypto space from a fallout from from Bitcoin, and we're going to check in on some Bitcoin prices here in a moment. We're going to check Ethereum. We'll look at Doge, and we'll see what are some of these altcoins and the damage that maybe we saw yesterday. But first, I want to talk about stimulus. So we finally got some word from the White House, like, where are we with stimulus? We were supposed to have an infrastructure and stimulus package that's going to bring maybe new stimulus checks to the American people, a fourth round of stimulus checks. Would we see thousands of dollars in checks coming to the American people? Are we going to see roads and bridges being fixed? Are we going to see jobs? Where is this? Why are you guys waiting on Republicans, dragging their feet? So Jen Psaki was asked this yesterday at the press conference, on where are we with this? Are you guys still holding out hope to work with Republicans on this? I thought Pete Buttigieg, the transportation secretary, said, hey, you got 1 week. 1 week is the deadline. Well, that week has come and gone.
A couple things, Steve. One, first, the president, I expect, will speak with Senator Capito before he leaves on his trip today or tomorrow. I know we noted Monday in our readout on Friday, but we're looking to schedule that call, and it will be prior to his departure on Wednesday morning. As we noted also in our statement on Friday, the offer did not meet the president's bar of growing the economy, tackling the climate crisis, and creating new jobs. And I would remind all of you, both in our counteroffer, but then in a lot of your reporting, it's clear the president has come down by about $1 trillion. What we've seen on the other side is they've only come up by a small percentage of that. So look, moving forward, he's looking forward to having a discussion with Senator Capito today or tomorrow, and he certainly is eager to see what that discussion can entail, knowing that in any discussion, any negotiation, both sides come closer together. That's always the objective. He's come down quite a bit. We're looking to see more. Now, at the same time, there are a lot of paths forward here, as many of you know, even though our muscles have atrophied a bit on this front. One is Congressman DeFazio, as we noted in our readout on Friday as well, is leading the markup of the House legislation that has a lot of overlap with the American Jobs Plan this week. And that is a path that has a lot of opportunity to move forward in the House. As we know, sometimes the House and the Senate may move forward on different paths, and we've seen that take place on lots of pieces of legislation. The third pathway I would just note is there are Republicans and Democrats who have been out there talking about their eagerness to be a part of this discussion and a part of an opportunity to move forward on the president's bold ideas and historic investment in infrastructure. So we'll look forward to seeing what they have to offer and what conversation we can have with them. So all of these paths we expect to continue to make progress on this week.
All right. So you're continuing to work with Republicans who, okay, you've come down $1,000 now in your overall spending plan for the American people. $1,000 because Republicans, they're really concerned about you, the American people, right? They're really concerned about you. They gave tax cuts to the wealthiest Americans. They did it by themselves. They did it through a reconciliation process, not working with Democrats at all. Like, why are Democrats even waiting and spending any time with Republicans on this? I don't know. It could be come down to Joe Manchin. It could come down to those moderate Democrats who aren't going to be willing to work with, do anything that doesn't involve actually passing bipartisan legislation, perhaps. But again, $1,000 removed from this entire thing. Chances are of us seeing any sort of stimulus checks, who knows? Mitch McConnell, though, is still digging in his heels, even despite the fact that the president has come down $1 trillion in his pricing. Here's Mitch McConnell on the floor of the Senate.
Like fixing roads and bridges.
The American people rightly expect a 50-50 Senate to spend its time finding common ground. But our Democratic colleagues seem to believe that the most important expectations are those of their far left fringe.
if it was really the concerns of the far left, I think he's so, first of all, out of touch, because the far left has really not been invited to the table in these discussions at all. It's really been the moderate left. It's been the Joe Manchins of the world that have been driving these negotiations. It hasn't been the far left. If it was the far left, we would have massive climate change initiatives in place. We would have universal basic income for the American people. We would have additional stimulus checks for the American people. We would have a eviction moratorium on the table to help people make sure they're not kicked out of their homes. Friendly, like friendly or for.
My colleagues seem to believe that the most important expectations are those of their far left friends.
Does anybody have a mint julep? I'm here in my Kentucky white seersucker suit. I'm okay taking billions of dollars in bailouts, me and my wife, and taking big bonuses while the American people get screwed. Shut up, Mitch McConnell. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. So that's where we're on the stimulus. We should have had something written by Memorial Day on the desk of Nancy Pelosi, but we don't. So they're continuing, I guess, to work with Republicans, and there's going to be some watered-down version of this. We'll see. And also, we, of course, need a way to pay for it all. And if President Biden is not going to want to tax the wealthiest Americans, then I don't know how we're going to pay for this. And then once again, that's why you watch this show, because if you have your money sitting in U.S. dollars and we don't have a way to pay for this, Republicans won't tax the wealthiest to cover some of these expenses that are, companies that are paying $0 in taxes because they want to protect their wealthy friends. If you got your money in U.S. dollars, you better get your head examined. Again, we're only heading for destruction of the U.S. dollar. And all signs are right in front of us, folks. All signs are right in front of us. So we're going to get to the charts here in a second. I want to show you what's going on with Bitcoin. We're going to see what's happening with the people's currency. But first, a company that they're not a sponsor, but I told you about this company a few weeks ago here on the show. Well, there was some news from Kits. So I interviewed their CEO because I love what this company is doing. So Kits, news of this morning, Kits has delivered their first 100,000 prescription eyeglasses faster than any eye care brand in history. And as a result, their stock is up. They are an OTC stock, so they're an over-the-counter stock. You'd have to trade them on E-Trade or one of the smaller exchanges because they're a small-cap stock. And they trade under the symbol KTYCF. Look at this. $6 price. And they just broke records with their delivery of 100,000 prescription eyeglasses faster than any eye care brand in history. I'm a fan. Like I said, I only invest in companies that I actually use. And so these are I don't wear glasses. I don't have a prescription, but these are their blue light protection glasses. If you're using a computer screen to protect your eyes, they sell these, so you don't even need a prescription. So I bought these, in fact, and then I ordered some for my son who does wear glasses, and they have kids as well. So I got my son some of these glasses. And again, this is a small cap stock that I look for value in these companies that you're not going to hear about on CNBC. CNBC is not going to feature these types of companies, okay? But where they're doing really impressive things at a smaller level, but you might not hear about it in the mainstream media. So again, Kits delivering yesterday. This is news from yesterday. Their first 100,000 prescription eyeglasses faster than any other eye care brand in history. And out of Vancouver. The journey to 100 million patients served begins with exceeding the expectations of their 100,000 and beyond. And I interviewed the CEO a few weeks ago who said, look, our goal was to get to that 100,000. That was going to be a big milestone for them. And said, our plan is to get to 100 million. I said, that's a bold agenda. And they got there faster than that. So this is the news of this morning on KTYCF, a small cap that you need to trade on one of the exchanges like E-Trade or TD Ameritrade. But keep your eye on this. Do your own research on it. Again, I got their blue light blocking glasses that really help, protect your eyes especially if you're sitting in front of a screen. What do you think about these? Just let me know in the chat.
Hey, go full screen so we can get a good look at them.
Oh, I didn't have them. Yeah, there.
They look sharp, man.
What's really cool is actually on their website, you can, so I did the virtual try on. So it uses AR. You can use it right from the app or right from the screen. And so like I'm looking at it on the screen as it's using the camera to give me like a try on here. Let me see if I can try this. So let's drop some glasses here. Let me pick some. Let me just try. I'll just see if I can do a virtual try on with these here. See, not all of them have the virtual. Let's see here. Choose your lenses. Let me see if I can do it on this one. Go back. It's pretty cool technology, though. I think about in this kind of environment where you don't want to have to go to a store. You can do it right from, let's see. Do a virtual try on. Where's the virtual one here? Oh, there it is. You see the little, see here, you can see the virtual try on with the little camera. So let's try.
We can't see what you're looking at.
Oh, sorry. Thank you for reminding me. So here on their website, you can do the virtual try on. So let's try, here we go. So let me show you here. Allow on your camera. And then, can you see that? Isn't that cool?
That is cool.
And even has a glare on the lens. That's how good this technology is. You're like, yeah, I like these. Good. Boom. Ordered with your prescription. So I went through. That's how I found these. I thought these were great. I did a virtual try on. So anyway, cool small company that's doing some amazing things, bringing value to people during this pandemic, and being able to direct to consumer. I think is like certainly the future. And they've really done a great job. So I got some really nice Christian Dior lenses or frames here, right from them, delivered right to my door, and got some for my son as well. So some cool stuff. Showing you some cool companies today.
Yeah, I got several people talking about you look like you're getting some Clark Kent vibes, and I was thinking, I've never seen you and Superman in the same room.
Yeah, that's right. I know. It's like looking in the mirror when I look at Superman, right? Especially with his shirt off. Like, hey, is that me? Did you just take a picture of me? Oh, no, that's Superman. Spare tire Superman. That's why I'm working on losing some weight right now. All right, let's dive into the charts, shall we? Let's kick on some vibes. Get some music. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's take a look at the old Bitcoin at this hour, dropping still again. 32,000 on Bitcoin. Let's look at Ethereum. 2,480 on Ethereum. 487. Let's look at Dogecoin. 32. Let's look at gold and silver. Gold down a little bit, silver down a little bit, on its way up to $2,000 for gold. All right, let's look at Bitcoin now. So again, if you're joining us late, go back to the beginning of the show. I make the case for perhaps $20,000 Bitcoin in the near future. And this is based on on-chain metrics and those people that are actually buying up Bitcoin. Those people that are getting out of Bitcoin are the retail investors. We're waiting for these whales to jump in at lower prices in order to find value. A lot of these whales miss the boat the first time around. And so how do you have whale manipulation? They buy up big swaths of Bitcoin at $37,000, $38,000 or $35,000. And they take profits. They take profits when it goes up to 36, 37. They sell off huge amounts of Bitcoin. And then suddenly other whales start doing the same thing, coordinated. They know what they're doing. Then it plummets down to 34, 33, 32, on its way down to $20,000 Bitcoin. First, we've got to see if it'll hold this. Can it hold this 32 range right here, which we're in right now? Good luck. We'll see. Let's see about Ethereum. Again, if you got stopped out on these things, don't worry. I got stopped out on a few trades. We set stop losses here on the show, and we got stopped out. I got stopped out, you got stopped out, but fortunately there was such a small amount that we were stopped out that we only lost a little bit. Now we're sitting in cash. And what are we going to do? What I'm going to do is wait till Ethereum goes down. Ethereum hits 1,800. Maybe Ethereum hits 1,800 on a next support. Let me get rid of these indicators here. So the next stop on the Ethereum downward trend is 1,700. 1,800, somewhere in this range, could go down to 1,100. These are possibilities here, folks, for Ethereum. And so what do you do when Ethereum goes down that low? Look, and there are a lot of people right now are really bullish on Ethereum. I mean, you have a lot of institutions and companies that are really bullish on Ethereum. And do you think it's going to stay at 17,000? Of course not. Do you think it's going to stay at 11? No way. There are a lot of people believe that that maybe Bitcoin's time has come and gone, and Ethereum is going to be the new big player in the room. I mean, let's go to CoinMarketCap. At the top players in the CoinMarketCap space right now, Bitcoin. This is old because it's still at 32. Let me refresh that. And as Bitcoin dominance continues to decline, Bitcoin dominance, Ethereum dominance at the top here, 41%. Well, Bitcoin dominance decline, Ethereum at 19%. Is this a buy for Ethereum at this level? No. I would wait for Ethereum, absolutely, to continue its downward trend. Unless Ethereum bulls manage to lift this back up. I don't see it happening right now. I mean, I think it's going to continue down. But pay attention to what happens to Ethereum. If maybe it pops a little bit, I think you're going to see a retest. I don't think that Ethereum is going to be able to break out of this level right now. I think it'll follow what Bitcoin does, down to this $1,700, $1,800 level for Ethereum, even lower down here to 15, or even down to 10 or 1,100. And then what do? That's when I'm stocking up big. Like, I'm going to put a lot of money into Ethereum if it gets down to these prices, right? And then we ride it up past our stop loss. If we stopped out yesterday, I told you a stop loss I had set was 25.50 right here. So, right now we're just a little bit below that stop loss. So I lost like a fraction, a little bit. I'm sitting in cash as I wait for this to move down, and I can really get some good profits once I'm able to get into lower price on a good sales price on this. What about Doge? Let's take a look at Doge. Doge also in the meme coin area, if you want to consider it that at this point. I don't even know if you can consider it a meme coin, but again, the same thing. Dogecoin. Could we see 16-cent Dogecoin, 21-cent Dogecoin? I think the same thing is true of Dogecoin right now. I'm not buying until this continues and I get some kind of breakout of this pattern right now. But again, this could be a great opportunity to get into Dogecoin at a much lower level when it's down in that 20 range, down in that 16 range. ADA, Cardano. Some of you, if you got into it the other day when we talked about it, this is a 1 week chart. Let me go back to at least an 8 hour. Get this volume up. Sorry, folks. You can see some more movement here. Oop. Sorry. Trying to move my chart here and get rid of my indicators. Okay. So if you got in to ADA yesterday at this level, or the day before when we were talking about Cardano, you might have made a little bit of money and then you got stopped out when it came back down. That's okay. So you maybe made a little profit and then you got stopped out. So now you're sitting on some profits possibly, or maybe you just lost a little bit if you bought into Cardano. But Cardano is one of those Ethereum competitors, folks, that's going to explode. So if Cardano is at a sale, goes on sale right now, here's a possibility for Cardano down here, $1.37, down here at 87 cents, 95 cents, even below that. We want to look at where these support levels are for Cardano. Going back even further, what are some other possible, down trends here? 68 cents, 80 cents. Okay. These are all potentially shopping areas on sale prices. And then what happens after we go on sale? We go back up, right? So we can lock in some good profits at much lower levels. And this is what whales are doing, folks. This is exactly what whales are doing, hoping that this goes down to different levels. Let's see if it can, we'll see if it holds this position. If it hits 134, 139 in this area and bounces back, great. Again, these are not buys right now. Like, if you made some profits and you got stopped out, I'm sitting in cash on some of these. Here's one, though, that you guys, hopefully last week, we told you yesterday and kept reiterating this last week. If you watched our show last week, you would be sitting in some amazing profits right now on Theta Fuel, T Fuel. We talked about this mid last week, and a lot of you made some good profits. Look at this, continues to go up. This is one of those really outliers right now. I mean, as Bitcoin is plummeting, T-Fuel is going the opposite direction. And Theta also, you would have made some good money. This is slowly pulling back here, so that could be in store for T-Fuel soon. So make sure you're making some profits. Look at this run up here on Theta. So lock in some profits. Make sure you made some good profits on Theta, and make sure you have some good stop losses, hopefully under some most recent support levels. So you're at least, if you're getting stopped out, you're making some good profits. This could happen to T-Fuel. T-Fuel always follows Theta. They kind of work in hand. You know, Theta Fuel works with Theta. So if Theta is pulling back a little bit here, be prepared for T-Fuel to also have a little bit of a retracement here, okay? It's very rare in any kind of stock or crypto that you're going to have just a straight line. That doesn't happen. What you have is this. That's what you end up having. So you don't have straight lines. So be prepared for, take profits on Theta Fuel when it starts to go back down a little bit. Lock in your profits here or even higher. You don't wait for the top for this thing to roll over and fall off, okay? Take your profits, make some good money, and sit in cash and wait. DOT. Here's one you should have probably gotten stopped out. If you didn't get stopped out of DOT, then you probably didn't have your stop losses set properly. But remember our buying range over here last week? We told you about DOT. This is, if you were watching our show back on June 1st, June 2nd, we told you about this buying range for DOT. And hopefully you guys would have made some good profits on DOT if you watched the show all the way this run up here. And then even if you had a retest and you got stopped out and you had an opportunity to buy back in, you made more profits. And so now we're sitting down here low on DOT. How much lower can DOT go? Well, it can go pretty low. So again, DOT it could come down here to 16 cents over here. It could come here to 18 cents. These are all buying opportunities for DOT. Where's it? Is there another low that we have here that we could go to? These are 8 hours. This is an 8-hour chart. Yeah, we could come down here to 14 cents. I mean, we could, 7 cents on DOT. Imagine if we came down to 7 cents on DOT. Oh my God, I'd be stocking up huge on this. So again, all eyes on Bitcoin. Like, what happens with Bitcoin? Where do these things go? And a lot of these altcoins move with Bitcoin, but we could see some of these altcoins got less hit than Bitcoin has, and therefore we might not be in for as much bleeding. Maybe, DOT only comes down to here, 19 cents, and then bounces back. So, these are, you want to pay attention to you don't never buy in the green. We only want to buy once we have a confirmed breakout of a pattern. So if it comes down here, we start to get green, green, green. That's when we want to break. That's when we want to buy. And make sure that the volume is falling in line. The RSI and all of the other indicators are there. So DOT could be a good buy once we get even lower. Again, this is like a back to school sale right now. I mean, there's so many good deals that are potentially out there. And if you're sitting on cash and you've been waiting, a lot of these coins that people have made a lot of money on are going on sale. They're already on sale, but they're going to be in my opinion, going to even be on a deeper sale, like a Black Friday sale coming up here. Go BTC. I told you about this one yesterday. This one as well. If you bought in yesterday or the day before, you would have made a little bit of profit here. Not very much. This is kind of a weak, small one. I only put a little bit in this one anyway. It was kind of a baby coin. Very slow, small market cap. So not a lot of movement on this. But again, this one, we could come down to here, 66 range. We could hit this support level and bounce back in the 67 range. I didn't put a lot of money in here. I did get stopped out of here at the 9. I bought in at, what did I buy in? 80, 87, 88 range. And took a little profit as it rolled over here. But this is a small baby one, so I wouldn't freak out about this one. But let's see where this one goes. There's not a lot of move. There's not a lot of space for it to go down even further than that. So if it can come down here, boy, I'm stocking up on GoChain as well. I'm going to be buying a lot of that. Look at this price, though. I mean, it's kind of hard to beat that price. Like, you know, Uni. Here's another one. You probably got stopped out on this. Hopefully you made some profits on this when we told you about it. From here to here, and you took some profits. Maybe you got stopped out. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you took profits and sold. But again, your stop, remember, this is the stop we set at 25 yesterday. So even if you lost a little bit, it's a very small amount here from here to here. And now it's dropping down even further, which is it broke this support level here. So it's going down even further on Uni. So what's next for Uni? Well, maybe here, but it could go all the way down to here. 13 cents for Uni. And Uniswap is a beast. So if let me go back here, coin market cap. Let's look at Uni. Uni is number 10 on coin market cap. Number 10. And if you can get Uniswap at 10 cents, I'm sorry, at $10. Talk about huge sales right now. See, I'm always one of those people that's glass half full. I'm not a fear-based person. I try not to be a fear-based person. When someone kicks me and I go down, I get right back up. I don't ever, ever, ever give up at anything I do, ever. And we like to say in the Morris family, there is no such thing as giving up. Nothing. And so when I see, and I get punched in the nuts in situations like this, when I see Bitcoin punching me in the nuts, I look for opportunities. And if we understand underlying all of this, what's happening with these whales that are buying into this market right now, or they're waiting to buy into this market because they're waiting for all these retail investors to get kicked out and cry to mommy, then they're going to jump in big time. And that's exactly what they're waiting for. So Uni, if I can get Uni at $10 and it's at 22 right now, I'm going to double up on Uni big time if it comes down here. So this is where, I use TradingView, set alerts. Okay. So I set an alert here that already blew through my alert. I'm going to set an alert. Let's set an alert here at 15. I'll set an alert here at 15. I'll come down here. I'm going to set an alert. And then I'm going to be watching this pattern. And then as soon as I'm going to be stocking up big time when it gets down here. Look, we could even go below that. What if we go down here on Uni? $3 Uniswap. This is back in December of 2020. That's a long time ago. Right? $3 for Uniswap. Where is Uniswap going? Big places. So, again, buying opportunities. Let's see what else we got over here. And TLM Alien Worlds. This has just been kind of chilling out here, not doing much of anything. No real movement on that. But I think, again, I'm not buying anything right now unless it hits these certain numbers. So I'm sitting in cash. It's okay to sit in cash. It's okay to wait till this market settles down. Nothing is really going to happen here until this market settles down. Until Bitcoin settles down. But again, Bitcoin, I'm making the case, folks. I really believe that Bitcoin could be hitting that 20,000 range. Unless bulls can come in here, I just don't see it happening. I don't. Look at this chart. I wish I had my buttons working. I just don't see. I don't see bulls coming into this market right now. The bulls that would come in are the whales. They are bullish. See, I don't want you to forget this. It is a bullish market right now. They are bullish on it. They just don't want to pay $32,000. And so they're able to say, hey, I'm going to take profits, move the whole market down. People get freaked out and they don't want to jump into the market. And then what happens? They swoop in and make enormous purchases at a low discount, at a huge discount. So $32,000 Bitcoin right now is going to probably head down even further. I would expect 28,000 as our next stop on this train. That could happen this afternoon. I wouldn't be surprised if we hit $28,000, $29,000 Bitcoin this afternoon. You know, 30,000. Here's that, there wasn't even any support there for that, for 30,000. 32 is where we're at. So right now, bulls have to hold 32. And I don't see bulls holding 32 right now. Do you? Like, here's 32, 33. Bottom of this candle is 32 over here. Sorry, is my head in the way? Just yell at me, Philip, if my head's in the way. My big Clark Kent noggin. So, you know, right here's 32, right? It's already broken through 32. Like, I don't see the support. I don't see any green here. Do you? So get ready for a 28. Here's our next support over here. 29, 28 in this level. Could argue that it's here. 20. Yeah. Who cares? I mean, at this point, who cares? It's in there, right? An $18,000, $20,000 Bitcoin. It's coming. It's coming, folks. You heard it here, but hey, congrats if you're in T-Fuel. At least you're making some money today on T-Fuel. And pay attention to some of those other stocks that we're looking at, like kits. Look at Ford. Look at Ford. Look at some other the stocks on the Biogen side, on the pharma side. There's always opportunities in the market right now. So let's take some super chats if we have any here. I see some.
Yeah. We got a couple. So I know Frank D was talking about he wanted me to or he wanted David to read this one comment out. It was a Mitch McConnell quote, but David is not here. Not a quote, but he was, and I'm not going to read it out like he's going to want me to, but it was the we hiccup need to gurgle build up a basic hiccup roads and blurb bridges hiccup I love oil Mitch after scotch.
Mitch after.
So I know that wasn't the read he was looking for, but
hey, good job though. Good job.
Hey, yeah, I'm way too literal for stuff like that. Jeremy Morris had a $2 super chat. Clayton, can you look at ANKR short/long term?
ANKR, sure I can. Is ANKR? Let me look at ANKR. While I'm pulling that one up, you can rock on. ANKR.
Yeah. Belinda Edwards had two $4.99 super chats. No messages to be found. We had Derek Eads came back. He resubscribed as a supporter.
Thank you, Derek.
Manuel LeBlanc, Chris, and Marco Gutierrez are new members. And then the rest of them are mostly about things they want you to look up. One is Brian Brumfeld, a $5 super chat. Article EIP-1559, a proposal to update transaction fees on Ethereum. This might be why it dropped for some as well. Fear is 1 to 2 separation if voted down.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people that think that, hey, maybe Ethereum's time has come and gone as well. Ethereum 2.0 eating Ethereum 1.0's lunch. I don't know. I mean, is Cardano the future in that space for smart contract transactions? We'll see. But people are very, very bullish. And again, it all comes down to brand, when you have like big sports stars and investors who are buying up tons of Ethereum. Brand matters. Here is ANKR. Again, look, it's hitting this support level here right now. Previous support of 89 cents or 0.089, 8 cents basically. And it's hanging out here. This is an 8-hour chart. Again, looks like it's oversold on the RSI, but I don't see any green candles. Again, this could be an opportunity. I would wait and see, or does it break that? And how far down is this going to go? Is it going to come down to here? Previous support, maybe 820, 825. Wait till we see a breakout here. This looks like a bearish retest again. Up, down, up, down, up, down. So wait on that. So I'm not buying anything like that right now. But yeah, make sure you're sitting on cash and set your alerts, set charts, set alerts. So what happens with Anchor? Set an alert. See if it breaks this pattern. If it starts to move up, make sure that the fundamentals are there. Make sure that the RSI is there. Make sure that your MACD is there. Make sure that volume is there. Make sure all of those things are in play before you make a move. And then always come back to Bitcoin. I mean, what's going on with Bitcoin? It's plummeting. You know, so be very, very careful right now.
Francisco Cazares, what do you think about Ethereum Classic?
I don't own any. You know, I have some people that are bullish on it. I'm not. I don't own any. I'm see Ethereum Classic. I'm not gonna pull it up here. Why am I having difficulty with my charts today? Yeah, I mean, I know some people that are really bullish on it, believe it is the true Ethereum. I don't own any. But it'll be interesting to see how well it runs next to Ethereum here as Ethereum bounces back. I have to say, in comparison to like Ethereum to Bitcoin right now, it didn't get as hammered as Bitcoin did, for sure. And it's kind of holding steady at this 2,400 range. But if it does pop down to 1,800, I'd like to see what Ethereum Classic does next to it.
And then we had Hex to the Moon, oddly enough, asking, he was a $20 super chat saying, can we check out the Hex chart? Hex is the first truly decentralized blockchain certificate of deposit. Bank's top product, totally controlled by you.
Let's see Hex. Let's see Hex. Bring me some Hex. Yeah, Hex is looking... You know, again, it's on Uniswap. So again, it's funny, like some of these projects that are on Uniswap and then Uni is looking like this right now, you know? So you have a project on there, but it's looking pretty good right now. This is an 8-hour chart. That's some of these indicators here. All over the place. It's kind of.
And while you're looking at that, I'm not quite sure who any of this is or was referring to, but David Nino Brown, $5 super chat. According to 4chan Anon, they are trying to bankrupt Justin Sun from Tron, but I think it's also BlackRock and JPM trying to accumulate using Lycov.
Yeah, I think always look at these big institutions first. Follow the money, follow the money, follow the money. These guys that have a lot of money to make move in the market. But Hex, you know, Hex is looking interesting here though, and it's got a higher high, keeps going up. Although we hit this level here, I'd be curious to see, you know, never buy on a green candle. So I'd be curious to see, because we hit a lower high here. Hit a lower high below this one, a little bit lower. Is this the next high? You know, we're going to see another lower high. So follow this pattern to see where this goes. Bulls need to push this up, otherwise we could see some declines. Again, I'm not going to be buying anything right now in that. I'm waiting for good prices. You know, is it going to come down here where I could jump into something like that? Based on what Bitcoin's doing, based on what Uni is doing at this hour? Good question.
Tammy True, where do you buy your DOT, Clayton? Thanks for your thoughts and for doing what you do. And any thoughts on Telcoin, KuCoin? ?
I don't have any thoughts on that one, but DOT particularly, I buy on Binance, so that's where I have my. When I bought DOT, I buy it on Binance, Binance.com.
And then Eddie Alexander, don't give me financial advice, but would you convert everything to USDT on Coinbase right now and hope for a bigger drop to buy again? 2K loss now.
Well, number one, Coinbase is very expensive for trades. So I'm not a Coinbase user for trading. That's my, personally, I do not use Coinbase for that reason because the trades are very expensive. So what I do, the only way I use Coinbase is I put money into the system in Coinbase. So I'll buy into USDC and then I'll transfer that over to Bitcoin, to Binance or Bybit or one of the other exchanges. Personally, I'm sitting in a lot of cash right now for that very reason, because I'm waiting for, as I went through today and showed you, I'm waiting for a lot of really good deals right now. And you'll be able to make that 2,000 back in no time. If you're sitting, don't just, in my opinion, don't just like sell your coins. Like if you're not getting stopped out at the levels that you set to make sure that you're, either making a profit or you're protecting yourself. But if you don't have stop losses set and you're just sitting there hoping that like then everything's just going to go back normal. Like, you want to always make sure you have stop losses in place, because this market will take your money unless unless you protect yourself and you're smart with your trades.
Asia K, love the edutainment. Can you please look at the algo?
Algo, I own Algo. That's one of the few I actually own. I have that. I have Algo. Let's look at Algo. Oop. Let's see what I've got in Algo. Not a lot of movement on Algo. I mean, Algo's just kind of been hanging out. So, not a lot of room for this thing to move. I mean, it could go down to 77, 81. I mean, you see the price action here on a 1-day chart. Let's do a 4-hour. Yeah, I mean, we'll see if it breaks this resistance. This is a previous resistance here, over here, and we're hanging out right here now at about 88 cents. Let's see where this goes. Maybe it drops here. Could be a good farming opportunity to pick up some more Algo. Or down here, 74 cents. But this is one I actually do not have a stop loss set on, because I don't have very much money in it. I've just been letting this one hang out. I've been scraping profits along as I go, and so I don't have a stop loss set on this one. Again, I don't have very much money in this one, but that's what I'm seeing right now. Could be a good opportunity to pick up some more down here at 8 cents, 7 cents. But wait to see what happens here. Like, if you buy in here, could go down here. So wait to see if you get like a confirmed breakout to the upside on this.
Kale, thank you to you and the team for all the knowledge and thoughts. Great ambience. I'm relatively new to the crypto world. Have learned a lot from you guys.
Thank you for being a part of our show.
And then Alex M, this is the last super chat we have here. What happens to my ETH when 2.0 comes out?
Well, what they're saying is that nothing is supposed to happen. It's basically going to be an update, and it will not cannibalize your current ETH. Like, it's not going to have any effect. They say that's the case. They say that's the case. We'll see. There's too much at stake for that to cannibalize your current Ethereum, but that's what they're saying. I mean, critics are saying that Ethereum 2.0 is going to cannibalize Ethereum 1.0. Okay, hopefully in a good way. They think that it's not in a good way. Those are Cardano fans, so just be prepared. I guess is the key to see how this transition goes. So, yeah. Do we have anybody else who's new? Let me know if you're new here in the chat.
You want me to turn off the members only?
Yeah, let me know if... Yeah, go ahead and do that. Just say if you're new here, and thanks to all of our new watchers today. If you're new, we welcome you with open arms. We do this show live every day at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, so please subscribe to the old channel. Grover welcomes you to the channel as well. Where is he? There he is. He's over my shoulder over here. Grover, my 1-year-old little mini pin, is my co-host. New from Northampton, UK. Good. Hey, maybe pop them if you can click them. I don't know if you can click them fast enough. Probably can't, but let's see if
I'll try to grab as many as I can.
No, I guess we can't. They're already coming up here on the side. There's no reason to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah. Zayn is here. Good to see you, Zayn. I'll get my camera back. My stream deck's not working here. Someone says, I think Cardano is ETH's biggest threat. Hey, good to see you, Marco. New from Scotland, Pencil Neck Troll. The Pencil Neck Troll is your name. I love that. Welcome. Gas fee will be used. Yes. Hi, I'm new from New Jersey, Ron C. New. Welcome if you're new here from Philly. All right, DJ Frank, nice. V-Chain, Dylan says. Marco is from Mexico. Morning from Auckland, New Zealand. Good morning, Mark. Brian, farmer from Fort Worth, Texas. Good to see you, Brian. Nairobi, Kenya. Samuel is here. Carlos says, thanks for all the good info. Brody from Perth, Australia. Hello from Puerto Rico, Miriam. Nice to see you. Farwad is from the United Arab Emirates. JG from California. New. If you guys are new here, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. We do this show every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time. I like to think we're the only morning news show that actually covers the financial markets from an actual human being's perspective, not corporate Wall Street, like you see on CNBC and all these other corporate media. I spent 20 years in the mainstream media business, and I retired in 2017 to focus on my companies and investing and helping people through financial education, build wealth, preserve wealth, and that's been my goal. Hi from Cleveland, Chris Gallagher, good to see you. Dennis Cavanaugh from Ireland, nice to see you. Bonnie Dagg in Saskatchewan, Canada. Saskatchewan, I had to write a book report or a report on Saskatchewan, Canada when I was in elementary school. Terry Fell says, yes, you are, Clayton. Thank you so much. From El Salvador, Noah Palacios. Am I saying that right? El Salvador. Way to go. Namibia. Yaraka from Namibia. My friend is just moving to Namibia. Mr. Ree from South Australia. How low could Doge go? Marlon wants to know. Anthony Villeneuve is from Syracuse. Ronnie Goitron is from San Antonio, Texas. Kale from Toronto. Good morning. Palm Beach, Bernard. Good to see you. A Brit living in Spain, Mark McGee. Good to see you. So let's see Doge here. I mean, Doge at this hour is at 31. It's dropping again since the start of the show. I mean, Doge can go as low as, I think it can go. I mean, I think Doge right now is going to be. We'll see if it holds this level here. Oops, sorry. All my indicators pop up here. So 31, is it going to stay here? The 31 level? That's really, or is it going to drop to 28? Where does it go from there? Here, 26. Go all the way down to 21. Again, these are all farming opportunities here. 27 is our next stop on the Doge Express. And then once we know that this is the lowest it's going to go, that's when we have the opportunity to buy in and make some, good profits. Again. And set your
Latin
stop.
America preparedness with a $2 super chat. Which Binance you use? Binance US or other Binance?
I use the international Binance with a VPN because, I can just get access to so many other coins on Binance International. So I just use a VPN in that way. That's what I do. Rover, where'd you go, man? So I guess that's everybody today, right?
Yeah, that covers it. Belinda Edwards did look like she upgraded to supporter. So
thank you so much. Well, we'll be back here. If we have any news in the market today, be sure to follow me on my Telegram channel. It's morninginvest.com/Telegram. We have thousands of people over there on our Telegram channel. Just if I see things happening in the market, I'll post little voice chats, little text updates throughout the day. So check that out as well. It's totally free, but it's an immediate way for me to kind of, get some market information out there if things are happening, whatever it happens to be. So much love to all of you. We'll see you back here bright and early tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time. But until then, be safe, trade well, buy the dips, and be smart. Thanks, Philip. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Yep, thank you.